cash purchase. I have a buyer's entity or trust.
Okay, so we're live. Here, I'll just roll through it really quick. Got us all tangled up here. I love how we talk about changing the orientation of this every time, and then we don't remember that until we're in here.
It's a month to forget.
Yeah, everything.
All right, yeah.
So we'll go from market update to that credit tip.
What was the credit tip?
That one. Here's your interest rate stuff that you sent me. FinCEN, oil price stuff, and then questions. Sound good?
Yeah.
I have lost my page. Now I need to share. Where's my share my page? Not share my page. There it is. I did a last minute.
Just gonna move this so I can see the screen.
Sure. I'm sorry.
You know what? I'll put it in.
Oh no, I'll take it because I need a drink before we get started.
It's heavy.
Is it? It better be. It's completely full.
I thought I heard someone talking about a water thing. I think they just walked it off the street. I'm trying to.
Oh, selling in the water cooler?
Yeah, that thing again. Yeah. It sounded like.
I'd be down for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be down for it 100%. But because it was nice having that.
It was nice. I don't drink as much when I don't have water nearby. Like tap water is not very appealing. Right?
So, it's so funny as an adult. You prefer to get sick on the weekend because that's when you don't have work. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time,
It's
you're
efficient.
like, yes, the most efficient is getting sick on the day that you don't have work.
Yeah.
But as a kid, you would always hope it was on a weekday during school. But I just thought that was funny. All right, we're getting through all the text here.
It's firing through them. Oh, a couple minutes late.
What's that?
We're a couple minutes late. Are we live?
Yeah, we're live. We're rocking and rolling. Yeah, we've
I didn't
had,
know you clicked on it.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know you didn't hear me. I said we are live.
Oh.
I'll show you at the beginning because you're probably like, go, here we go. I got our phone numbers up here too, so people can see it.
Put my NMLS number on there next time.
We should probably do that, and maybe a logo of the brokerage. I technically should probably have that on there. So
Yeah, we can.
we'll tighten that up. But here's the thing: they go to our bio, they click on the website, they go to the website, and that is where it is. I think it's a one-click rule. I think.
That sounds right. If you're doing anything advertising, you know.
Yeah. Good.
I'm still getting texts.
Good. I know, me too. I cleared them already, but so many texts. Yeah, literally my dog has never seen me not move that long before. Just like, what's wrong? Thinking I'm gonna die or something.
He's probably. Yeah. It's,
Like literally he just sat me sit like lay on the
Laid
couch
on you.
all week. Yeah. He came up the first day a few times, but after that I think he was weirded out too much. He like didn't come around me.
not used to it.
It's like, well, we're supposed to be out and about.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be go.
Anyways, well, we got somebody online. Let's go ahead and get started. Hello, welcome to the podcast. We're so stoked. I'm Jefferson Clements with Escape Properties.
I'm Lance, Barrett Financial.
And this is exciting. This is month 5 that we've been doing this. Can you believe it?
It's gone fast.
Yeah, it really has. I feel like, and you know, we still suck at it. I'm just kidding, but let's go ahead and get started. We did throw out our phone numbers there at the bottom of the page. Oops. So that you can reach out to us if you ever want to. So let's go ahead and get started. So here is our tip of the month. And I guess you know best about this. Let's go ahead and have you roll with it.
Yeah, so the flipping cedar that we're doing has heavy smoke. Like
somebody smoked inside the house
for years and years. We're wiping down the walls. with TSP and hot water, and that's
Okay.
getting a lot of the yellow nastiness off.
Good.
But going to Home Depot and buying the kills, they recommended oil-based, right? So,
Cool.
and then the guy's like, well, you can save some money by tinting it. So we picked our end color that we're going to use, and we tinted the kills.
Cool.
And so it'll take a lot less paint the second coat.
That's good.
So
So the
kind of a
Kills,
cool little.
Kills is the brand or what it is. It's the type of paint. It's not a paint. It's a Kills.
Yeah, it's really
And then you can tint it, and then that way you only have to do it one time instead of maybe a couple coats like you would with paint.
They said we can't complain if the color's off a little bit, but
Nice.
it's going to get close to that final color. And so when we put that final coat on, we'll use a lot less paint.
That is awesome. Literally brilliant. So
Yeah.
very cool. Yeah, and we put that note in there. Remember, it has to be tintable. So
Yeah, and only the oil-based is tintable. That's what I've
Cool.
learned. And if you use oil-based kills, your final product has to be oil-based as well.
is it like when you paint like furniture, like wood furniture, where like, do you know what I'm talking about? It's that oil-based
Probably.
stuff. It's probably the same
Yeah.
stuff.
I just
Cool.
going off the home. This is actually a Home Depot guy tip.
Oh, really? I love it.
He taught me something. So
Okay, guys, this is super interesting. I think you'll get a kick out of this. As always, we're going to start with the rental history, or I guess the rental market for Washington and Iron County. Remember that these numbers are based off of your most average type of unit, which happens to be probably the 3 bedrooms, 2 bath homes. So that's what these numbers are reflecting. If you have a rental that you're interested in, or if you have a home that you're thinking about renting out and want to know what that home would do specifically in this market or in Iron Counties, you can always send me an address and I can run these numbers based on the schematics of the house that you guys have or that you're looking at. But these are based off of 3 bedrooms. So you will notice here, I didn't get this one updated. So Washington County and Iron County, the average rents are $19.89 and $16.79. That was actually February's. I didn't mean to miss that one, but I missed that one. This month, you'll find it really interesting. Washington County dropped down to $19.56. Okay, not a big drop, but it's still, $30-$40 right there, right? Super interesting. Cedar City has stayed true in blue. I've got it. Oh, I do have it in red on this slide. Okay. It's dropped down to $16.75, so just $4 right there from last month, which is super interesting to me. Cedar City just stays consistent for the most part. It doesn't have as many fluctuations as St. George and Washington County has, but it doesn't surprise me that St. George has dropped this. I know that we've had several rentals in our pool that are just taking a little bit longer to close, and I think it's just because people are starting to get used to these drops, and there's a lot of homes that are available for rent right now. And so you have to get really strategic if you're going to rent a home right now, I feel like. So super interesting. But I mean, you take a look back at it. December was our last month that we were above 2,000. We're at 2,077. And then January, we dropped down to 1989, and now we're at 1956. So I'm super, super intrigued to see how it goes, but it's just kind of been trending down, which is still interesting too, because pre-COVID, $1,950 was still crazy high, like for a 3-bedroom. So it's like, it's still good for the investor. I'm going to say it's still not the best for like the renter,
right.
But I mean, I guess it still helps when you look at, trying to get into a home. It's still pretty high compared to.
It's good for the renter to be aware that it's a little softer if you want to renegotiate your lease and they're trying to bump you up. Maybe you can keep it the same or drop it a little bit if you're
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, so this graph looks a little messy here. You've got Washington County on the left and Iron County on the right. Blue represents all the active listings. As you can see, we went up this month in Washington County. We went from 2,068 up to 2,378, meaning that there's 901 new listings since last month, which is interesting. 352 have sold. This represents the month of February, everybody. And then for Iron County, we went up to 785 from 754 listings total. 241 are new and 147 sold, which 147 was more than what sold in January, but not quite as much as what sold in December, which is still really interesting. But
I think Parade of Homes, a lot of the
yeah,
sellers try and time
oh yeah,
time
100%.
the listing along with that. It's always a popular month to put your house on the market.
These are the fun numbers right here. The average sold price for St. George went from 505,350 to 505 even. So it went down $350. You don't see it stay that close usually.
That's pretty level.
To put that in perspective, Cedar City went from 465 down to 443.5,
Wow.
which is a pretty big jump. Because you look at, let's see, I'm going to take us back to, let's start with October. 430 in October, then November 425.8, it went down. Then it went right back up to 430, and then that was in December. And then it went from 430 all the way back up to 465 January, and then 443. It is fun to see, the first of the month, the first of the year, you can kind of see where people are like, hey, now my New Year's resolution, buy the house. Like I do feel like there's got to be some of that in that number, but super interesting. Our absorption rate, meaning that if no other homes were listed today, Washington County would take 5.39 months to sell out, which is an increase in time from last month. It was 4.7 last month. And Cedar City or Iron County went from 4.43 up to 4.64. So both of them went up higher. The reason that number's probably gotten bigger is just because there's more listings than there were last month.
Yeah,
so
more inventory coming on.
Usually that's that indication. Sold to list ratio, which is one of my favorite numbers to talk about with clients, went up from 94.8 to 95. So not a big jump, really nothing noticeable as far as it goes for, buyers and sellers and stuff like that. But
still a buyer's market, still concessions being given, still.
Yep, totally, 100%.
More inventory coming on.
Get this though, Cedar City or Iron County went from 93% to 95.2. Again, not a huge jump,
right?
But it is interesting that it is a bigger jump than what what Washington County did. So kind of fun. Days on market is still one of the numbers that just kind of baffled me from last month. Washington County was at 105 days on market, and they've dropped back down to 86.6, which is kind of the norm right now for Cedar City. St. George went from 91.5 up to 97.8. They're a little bit longer than Cedar City. Let's see here. Let's see if I'm seeing any other trend with that. It still is the highest it's been, at least in the last 7 months. So for both communities, or for both areas, actually. Oh, that's not true. December was that December? Yeah, December was at 89.9. So just a couple more days on market than it is right now. So I love looking at those numbers. They're fun. Like the sold to list ratio is my favorite part. Yeah, I genuinely love it and stuff like that. So, okay, well, that's super exciting. Super interesting to see how it correlates with the rental market. Stoked about it. Oh, I did put this in a slide. Sorry, guys, we'll get better at it. There's comparables right there. Forgot I put a slide all together on that. But anyways, 91 to 86.6. So they went down on days on market for Washington, and then went down as well in Iron County. So, all right, credit tip. You want to take it away?
Yeah. So whenever you apply for a mortgage, we look back 120 days, any inquiries on the credit report.
Okay.
And we're going to ask the question, hey, did you actually open up a credit card? Did you actually get a car loan? If it doesn't show up on your credit report, we're going to need like an explanation. Mm-hmm. But credit inquiries also drop your points a little bit. Mm-hmm. Not a ton, but 2 to 4 points is kind of what we see. Where we can see it like hurt you more is like you go to the car dealer and you let them do the loan shopping for you.
That hurts you more.
Well, what from time to time we see is the car dealer will go and apply for 20 different mm-hmm. lenders trying to get you qualified.
Using your stuff.
Using your one application, they go and they apply on your behalf, and then you can get hit a couple of points to 4 points.
Is that
across a whole bunch?
I bet they have like a little box that you initial off.
You probably initial it. I don't know, but the better practice if you actually are going to buy a house first, of course. But if you have to go get a car loan, go to your credit union get your car loan in place and then go negotiate. I think you get a better deal that way anyways.
Cool.
So
You seen those apps where they like once a year you can ask your credit? Do you know what I'm talking about? You can like ask them
you can
to see
go
what your
to
credit is.
annualcreditreport.com, pull
Maybe
your
that's what I'm talking
own
about.
pull your own credit report.
But that's okay. That's not gonna.
That doesn't affect you. You can pull your own as many times as you want.
Okay, good. All right, cool.
Yeah, you can do it for free on that site, the annual credit report.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very good. All right, cool. Let's go
All
to the
right,
interest rates here. So
we're
this is
below
exciting.
6%.
It's unbelievable. I had to wash my screen when I saw it.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way. But that's exciting. Like,
Yeah.
super, super
So
exciting.
this is Freddie Mac's average interest rate survey that they do.
Good.
That we stole this from, and 30 years under the 6%, 15, 5.44.
That's awesome.
And we'll get into it in another slide, but yesterday rates got worse and today rates got better again. So we're,
Good.
because of the war and everything going on,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of uncertainty, and that can be good for rates, but it can also be bad for rates. So there's kind of a
Super interesting.
two-edged sword on that. So we're keeping an eye on the market to see what happens here.
I feel like Lance and I talk about it all the time. So if you ever want to like be on the inside scoop, just let us know and we can text you updates all the time. Like, we're good at that. So awesome. Okay, I'm excited to talk about this. I learned about this week, and it's kind of been a big topic for a while, but it just took place. It's a bigger topic than probably what we're going to spend time on here. But this slide, which I got from NWest Title this week, was very helpful in helping it. So FinCEN is the group, I guess, that takes care of, they're the people, I don't even know how to describe what they do, but they...
It's the reporting agency, I think.
Yes.
For fraud and
exactly.
that kind of thing
Yeah.
that monitor.
And so now they have mandated that there's a new reporting requirement. And the way that they've got it set up, it's really intense. It makes it sound like all buyers and sellers are screwed if they don't do this. But these 3 questions are really helpful. Before I jump in on those, pretty much the idea, the goal, like you said, is to help try to stop, money laundering and making sure that, these deals that are happening are actually legal and they're actually like legitimate. And I think that it's a double-edged sword. I think there's some good things to it.
Right.
I also think there's some bad things. So let's first off, before we jump into the nitty-gritties here, just go over who this really does affect. These questions, if you answer yes to all 3 of these, then it will be required that you report. Okay. I'll come back to kind of what the reporting part means, but is this a residential property, right? 1 to 4 family structure, condos, bare land with intent to build, or commercial that includes residential. 2, will it be a cash purchase that includes seller financing and private mortgages? And 3, are the buyers an entity or a trust? And then again, right there, it says if you answer yes to all of these questions, then you will have to report this. So mainly, if you're buying something all cash, this is where it's going to affect you. I think this is where it gets a little interesting. I know we talked about this a little bit on the side, but the buyer will have to report that, which it kind of makes sense that they would need to. They're the ones that are buying the property.
Mm-hmm.
But because of how FinCEN has it set up, sellers will also be required to report all their information. And so there's a website that they'll get on. Title will take care of it. They'll get you logged in on it and stuff like that. But you'll fill in all your information, and I don't think people are going to like it. I really don't. There's going to be a lot of people that won't like it, and I think we'll see it with like older clients too. I think older clients, one, might have a hard time with the online filling out all the information. I think it will be tedious. Maybe I stand corrected. Like maybe it will be okay, but I also think if let's say that you're a buyer and you go in and you get under contract, you're a cash deal, you're like golden, and then your seller finds out that they have to report like all this information, like and I don't know to what extent they're going to ask where's the money going. Like I don't think it will be like that, but I think you'll get some sellers will be like reluctant. And it'll be really interesting to see.
Maybe
what
they'll
goes.
prefer a buyer that is getting financing.
Yeah,
So maybe
it's crazy to me. Like we've never said
That'd be
that.
great for me.
We've never been able to have that conversation and like agree with that. Like, no, I think it's super interesting to think about it that way, but it might literally turn that way.
To me, it reminds me of what the bank mandate is for when they do a SAR report. If you go deposit over 10,000 into your account,
Exactly.
they're supposed to fill out the suspicious activity report.
Yeah.
This falls on the title companies, I believe, to report
It's-
this.
We can
Or
get
to make sure it's done.
So title companies probably won't take the deal, or like they won't start working on it if buyers and sellers won't do this. Like they won't even allow it to go to closing. Like they'll refuse. Like it will.
There's some liability issues there then.
Now, I know we talked about it. There's some, kind of details like if if real estate agents, I'm trying to remember what it is. There's like, if like, I can't remember what it is, but pretty much there's some rules like if I accepted a document from the buyer, then I might be required to make sure that it gets reported. Whereas the most ideal way is to have the title company be responsible for that. That's how it will usually go. When I was learning about it, the way that they said that an agent could become responsible for it, I was like, I've never collected that from my buyer. That's always been like through the title company. So like, unless I'm like overstepping and doing something like that, like we shouldn't have any problems with that.
Yeah.
But super interesting.
So if someone jumps through all the hoops to get a mortgage, they're excluded from this.
My understanding,
Which is you're very unlikely to be trying to commit fraud and hide things if you're getting a mortgage and documenting yourself and your income and assets and all that kind of thing. So
100%.
Makes sense.
I think if anything, if this says any big change, I think we might see another tweak to the REPC of how it's documented, because the biggest thing I could see being an issue is if a buyer is under contract and then the seller refuses to report, but it's not in the contract. If they're past their due diligence, but the seller is the one that's not signing or filling out the reporting, is that buyer tied to that contract if they're not doing something that's completely third party to the contract? If that makes sense.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah,
But
you get your earnest money back. And
exactly.
performance.
Kind
of a mandate in there.
It's kind of fun.
Yep.
It sounds way more intense with a name like FinCEN than it is. But anyway, it's kind of fun to kind of see the changes there. So if you have more questions about that, shoot us a message in the chat or reach out to us, whatever. So, okay.
This is kind of what we alluded to earlier with with us bombing Iran and the Strait of Hormuz, is what they call it.
Yeah.
20% of the world's oil is going through that, and it's
crazy.
Yeah. In the short term, it's already started. Gas prices, oil prices are going to jump on us, which is inflationary, right? Inflation is bad for mortgage rates. Okay. So if everything gets more expensive, inflation-wise, it'll be bad for rates. But if we get so bad into war that we look like we're going to go into recession, everyone will push money out of investments and into bonds, which is deflationary and better for interest rates. So there's kind of two ways this can go. I think right now the market's kind of just filling it out. The expectation is this is going to be a short event. It's not going to be dragged out. But if it does go into something longer term, it could have a bigger impact on interest rates, up or down.
Are these numbers then kind of showing a short-term or a long-term idea?
Well, yesterday, for example, we saw 30 basis points increase on interest rates.
Okay.
So we gave up a lot of the improvement that we've seen over the last few weeks yesterday. And then rates again kind of came back a little bit towards the better today.
Good.
So volatility in the short term on interest rates is what I expect until we see how things are turning out. The economists can forecast how this war is going to go, what's going to happen. I think long term, if things go according to plan, oil prices will come down. We'll have more access to oil, but in the short term, hopefully it's a disruption.
For sure.
Yeah.
I like the numbers that we've got pulled up for you guys. Just maybe make it a little bit easier. If you see oil jump $20, half a rate up. So
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
something like that. It's kind of a little bit easier. And then I love monthly payment plus $133 on 400K. So
Yeah. If rates jump by 0.5% or go down 0.5%, it works both directions. So,
yeah, the affordability drop that you got right there, yeah, it's super important because that's the buyer interest, right? That's 3 to 5% buyers, right? That's how I took it when we were talking about it in the notes.
yeah, that's
So,
one way. Yeah. You can definitely look at it that way. That's
Cool.
if you're selling your house, that's that many more buyers that either can or cannot afford
I see.
your
Yes.
house. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Well, yeah, it will be really interesting to keep an eye on that, and we'll keep going on it, and
Yeah.
hopefully we'll have a even better update next month.
Hopefully,
So.
hopefully it goes quickly and
Oh yeah, for sure. Some crazy stuff.
yeah.
So
Yeah. It's
cool. Well, does anybody have any questions in the chat? Thanks, Hayden, for the support. Love it. Yo, I love the numbers too. He says, thanks for sharing the numbers. That's awesome. Very good. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It's been real super exciting. If you guys ever have questions of what's going on mid-month, we will totally answer them. So just text us or hit us up on social media, whatever. So thanks, guys, so much for watching. We'll see you next month at episode 6. See you guys.
See ya.
Stop it. I don't know where my cursor is.
Oh, it's up at the top.
There we go. Let's stop that share. Oh, you said it. Where is it?
Oh, it disappeared now.
Oh, right there. End stream. There we go. Bye, everybody.